Okay guys, Questprobe Spider-Man. Just busy loading it up. I'm busy using an emulator, and I've actually been playing it quite a bit this afternoon, and this is actually a really great text adventure. It's got graphics, as you can see there. I've sped it up a little bit because obviously it's quite a long game, and this is a start to finish walkthrough for you, so I'm just commentating at the moment. But basically you've got to collect a whole lot of gems as Spider-Man and solve a number of puzzles, and some of them were quite fiendishly difficult, I must say. And I actually had to go onto the net a couple of times in order to get some hints and tips, because otherwise you just get tired of trying to do something, saying it in different ways. But I'm just going to let it play through, and I'll do a bit of a commentary on it. But I did enjoy this game, and it's definitely one of the better text adventures that I've played on the Spectrum. But basically collecting the gems, going around, there's basically 3 different floor levels. You can see here I'm actually now in a room with a crib, and if you're not on the ceiling while you're doing this, then the Sandman comes and you're unable then to finish it. So basically by crawling on the roof I managed to get a gem. As you collect these gems, so you need to take them through to Madam Web, who's one of the friendly characters, and you can see there I'm busy getting this gem here from the room with the crib in it. And you basically have 3 different floors, and you use a shaft. You can see this opening the doors here. It's to open up a shaft to get to the different levels of the actual game. Now I've sped it up quite a bit. It's running at 35% faster, otherwise this just becomes too long. And I wanted to show it from start to finish, or the way that I played it from start to finish. I'm sure maybe there's faster ways to do it, but basically you got to look at everything, you got to find everything. Yeah, you got to stop and have a look at all the niches, or niches as you call it, and find gems as you go up in this shaft. And when you get to the top of the shaft, once again your way is blocked, and you have to then push the elevator out the way so that you can then carry on in the game. Now at each different stage you actually get held up by some of Spider-Man's arch rivals, such as Dr. Octopus, the Lizard Man, who will come in later, Electro, Hydro Man, and so forth. And you can see here it gets a little bit monotonous because you're basically collecting gems in a number of different niches. But I suppose that's how they managed to stretch the game out a little bit. Now I'm in the penthouse, the thermostat here. Now in one of the other rooms you have Hydroban, who has an aquarium. You can't get to the aquarium or fish tank and get the gem out of there unless you drop the temperature here. So once you drop the temperature here, then it obviously freezes him down there, then you can carry on there. Hence the fact that I've actually went and I dropped the temperature, and at the same time collected a desk, a couch, there's a painting here that you rip in order to get a gem out of, and in the desk there's a gem as well. And you collect these items as you go, because further in the game you need to then use the weight of these items in order to press down on a paper press, and you have to put a certain number of items down. So I'm just collecting them as I'm going now, because I figured that out later, so just in order to save time. The clock, I'm not sure what the clock does except tell you 46 moves used, and I've done it a couple times with the clock and always told me 46 moves used, so I don't know. Maybe the programmer's got a bit of sense of humor there or something. But anyway, so going down the shaft now again. You can see there my spider sense tingles, so I stayed out, and I start getting a little bit lost. So I go backwards and forwards. Now back in the day I remember playing the Hulk, but I must say this was a better game than what the Hulk was, and I actually preferred this one, this text adventure, to The Hobbit, which was another text adventure that I've played before. Okay, yeah, I'm in a computer room and the ringmaster's there. Now, to get past the ringmaster, I need to go in when it's dark. How do I go in when it's dark? I close my eyes, obviously. Then it's dark, it's too dark to see. So while I'm in there, while it's dark, I twist and turn the knobs, and then I come in again, and the ringmaster's then gone, and the computer's available for me to use. Not much sound in the game. Basically all there is a beep every time you actually hit the enter button. Otherwise no other sound whatsoever. Now I would have played this. I've got the original game as you saw in one of my previous pickups videos. It loads well. I can load it up on my actual hardware, and the problem is that using the SCART cable, I'm battling to get a good picture on my Hauppauge PVR recorder. So it's actually easier just to play it on an emulator. And here I am by Madam Web, and she basically collects all these gems that I'm dropping off for her. Now if you read the comic, the gems play a vital role in the actual storyline, but it's sort of loosely based on the comic. You know, the gems are there, Mysterio is there, there's the what was his name again? What was his name again? The Chief Examiner, that's it. He plays a big part in the comic as well. So, and later on you'll see the Chief Examiner comes in and actually gives you a score. But the game is loosely based. I wouldn't say it's exact. There we are. So now you can see in this room where the aquarium was, because I turned the thermostat down, it froze the statue, and it froze the aquarium, so I could actually then pick them up. Or froze, I wouldn't say the statue, froze Hydro Man. And the Lizard Man is also here, and in order to get rid of the Lizard Man, I have to mix some chemicals, which I'm about to go and do, in order to put him to sleep. And I'm running around backwards and forwards. You spend a lot of time doing that. So once again, yeah, you can see, you know, I'm going up on the roof. Old Spidey's there. And I'm coming back down again. I did find that if you didn't do everything in the right sequences, the game could actually become unwinnable as well. And that often happened with these sort of games, where if you didn't do them in the right sequence, it became unwinnable. So I actually played through it about 3 times before I could actually get it in the right sequences, without some of the characters or some of the arch villains actually just killing me each time, no matter what I did. And then on top of that, sometimes I forget where some of the gems were. So there's a lot of running around. So you can see I'm here at the computer, keyboard, and type run, and this sets in motion a printing press, and you'll see just now how I use that printing press. It tells you there it needs 950 pounds of paper to start the process. Hence the fact that I was actually collecting a lot of items that had weight to them. So here I'm making up a, I'm using the formula. I was in the chemical lab over there, and in the chemical lab you actually take you get the acid and you get the calcium carbonate, and you'll see I will go back to the lab and actually mix them. And once I've mixed the chemicals, I get, what do you know, calcium chloride. I'm not sure what calcium chloride would do to you. It's been many years since I did any sort of science. But anyway, it's definitely going to knock out the poor old Lizard Man. I suppose it acts sort of like a chloroform. So I just need to go find him again. Ah, there's the old Lizard Man. So I throw the calcium chloride at the poor fella, and it knocks him out, and now I have a sleeping Doc Connors. So if I look at the Dr. Connors, I'll see there's a gem. I collect the gem, and then I pick up Dr. Connors. Why? Because I need his body mass to assist me with that paper press. And I'm back here by Madam Web, and I give her some more gems. If you hit the I key, it tells you what your inventory is. If you type score at any time, then it'll tell you how many gems. It's 18 gems that you need to collect. And I'd always get up to about 16, and then I would battle to find the last two. So here I'm taking the exotic chemicals. Now if you read the formula page, the exotic chemicals actually assist you to make your web. So you'll see here I use the chemicals. And obviously getting the wording right is important. So I tried mixed chemicals, didn't work. Tried mixed formula, didn't work. Make web. Now it works. So I've made my web, I can now use my web. And obviously the web you use later, you'll see when I go up the shaft and up on the roof, it becomes very important to get the web. So here in the ducts I can then remove the mesh. And I exert my spider strength and drop the mesh down, and obviously there's a big fan, so I collect the gem that's there. This fan is spinning, and in order to slow this fan down you've got to spray your web on it 5 times. And once you've sprayed it 5 times on it, it slows it down sufficiently for you to press the button. That then stops the fan. And it sort of only works with 2 buttons. I think you can put sentences together by the fact that you say spray web, and then it'll say to you at what? Then you say at the fan or at the button. So that's how I put sentences together. So the parser is not bad. I've played worse, put it that way. So I actually, you know, it had sufficient verbs for you to use. And this section gave me a real headache. Dr. Octopus and Electra. At one stage I've actually restarted the game 3 times and started from scratch again because I couldn't get past, or they just continued to kill me the whole time. I must have done something wrong. And then I did it exactly the same way. So yeah, I died. I reloaded the game. And you'll see, I think I die again. And there I'm dead again. But fortunately, in the game, you don't start from scratch again when you die. You're in limbo and you go down and you're back again. So I can drop off some gems again by Madam Web. And as I said, she needs 18. And there I've given her how many? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 so far. 11 gems. And now I've got to start scratching my head. Where could I have left other gems behind? So now I just start running around in random circles. Now in the comic it actually has this bio gem, and then there is this Nectar Egg that is sort of has there's one of the fiends is encapsulated in that Nectar Egg, and you can't just take the bio egg without the Nectar Egg actually affecting you, the bio gem. So you'll see just now I actually have to use my there I'm dead again. So it does start getting a little bit frustrating. So yeah, I figured out that if you look west, it says I see the bio gem, and then you say spray web, it says at what? You say at bio, and guess what? You've got the bio gem. You managed to get it. And I'm going to give it there to Madam Web. But I still sit with the problem in that I still can't get past Dr. Octopus, and I still couldn't get past Electra. So I keep doing other parts of the mission or parts of the puzzle, and then, you know, hopefully, you know, once I've done in the right sequence, then it'll allow me then to get past it. So I'm about to try that section again. And I spend a bit of time just aimlessly running around again. Fortunately, there aren't hundreds and hundreds of different locations. And here I am back at the penthouse. So I drop the block, the ice block. And now I start messing around trying to raise the thermostat, and there pops out the aquarium. Now if I look in the aquarium, I should see a gem in the water. But unfortunately now Hydro Man has popped out because I've thawed him out as well. So unfortunately it doesn't work just trying to grab the gem out of the aquarium. I've got to separate Hydro Man from it, and that took me a while as well just to figure out what the right sequence was and what I had to do with Hydro Man. So there I'm lowering the thermostat temperature. I've got Hydro Man then turns back into an ice statue, and then I have the aquarium which is back as an ice block. So I must say Spider-Man must have really deep pockets, because I mean he manages to fit all sorts into his inventory. He probably looks more like Father Christmas in his red suit than he does as a Father Christmas. And there I try again, and just to see if I could get anything done different. But once again Hydro Man pops out and the aquarium is there. Now that I'm commentating on it, I wish I could have sort of gone back in time and just helped myself there a little bit, because it was sort of just endless. I couldn't actually do anything in this room to separate them. So eventually I gave up and tried something else. So there I'm taking the statue again and taking the ice block again, and hopefully I bugger off and at this point and try something else. So yeah, I tried dropping the statue here, thinking if I drop the statue here, then I could possibly separate him that way. Then I thought, nah, it's not the right place for him to be. I need to figure out getting rid of Dr. Octopus and Electra. So I'm heading back down the duct. And all the way down to the bottom. It's a bit of a maze here as well, but if you just go straight up and straight down, then it's fine. And for some reason my emulator starts flashing at this moment. I'm sure something else is popping up in the background, hence a couple of things are flashing. Now earlier I typed get Dr. Octopus and it didn't work, and now it worked. You know, you get Dr. Octopus and you hit Electro and they knock each other out. So obviously certain things have to be done in a certain sequence, otherwise it just doesn't work. So now I look at Dr. Octopus and then I can get the gem. Same with Electro, if you look at him you can get the gem. But I think my inventory gets a little bit full at this stage. I'm carrying too much. So now I'm going to go here. Now this is the paper press. Now you have to drop 957 pounds or over 950 pounds on it to activate the printing press process. So yeah, I'm just dropping off the heavy bits and pieces. So I drop the statue. Have a look in my inventory, what else have I got? And I can't drop a couch, so I need to drop a couch. How I managed to run around with a couch, a desk and a statue in my backpack. So I drop the desk. And I drop Dr. Connors as well. As well as the painting. Go back and pick up all the Electro. I found it helps a lot in these sort of games. Is every location you can just type look here, look there and so forth, and all of a sudden something just pops out. So there we are. If I look at the dial, I now have 957 pounds on it. The system is now running. So now if I get back to the computer, I can then start printing the printing process. You can see I'm sort of aimlessly running around again, trying to get to the right floor. Ah, there we are. So now if I get the computer started up, and the computer says, computer types, printing is now complete. And I'm back now in the penthouse, so now I can raise the thermostat. So quickly having a look what's in my inventory. Ice block is there. So I drop the block and now I raise the thermostat, and I should now have an aquarium again. There we are. So now if I look in the aquarium, I'll see another gem. I can't just get the gem. Let's try empty the aquarium, which is the obvious thing to do. And now I get to find something. So now the gem is available, so I get the gem. I keep taking the wrong floor. So now I need to go back down again and go see what was printed. Visible art printing process. This is a folded newspaper. So let's look at the newspaper. Headlines: Questprobe fever sweeps the nation. I'm sure they wish. Let's open the newspaper. And so I found something, another gem. Get the gem. So at this stage I think I was pretty sure that I was almost finished. It's a pity the game doesn't have a, something playing in the background. They could have. The graphics are pretty good for an 8-bit Spectrum game. The pass is good. The locations, the drawings are nice and fast and quick. Surely they could have had some sort of sound to play in the background, which is a pity. So here I am back with Madam Web, and I'm giving her gems. So what's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, I've given her 15 gems. So if I type score, it'll tell me I've stored 15 gems, and on a scale of 0 to 100 I now have scored 83%. So there is still a few more gems out there, another 3 to be exact. Now if I was watching my screen at this stage, I would have seen there's a bio gem right there, which I forgot. I'd actually shot it with my web, but I forgot to pick it up. I go right past it. There's the Nectar Energy Egg. Strangely enough, if you go into this room and look at it and go out and go back in again, it just disappears. So if I go back in, when I go back in later, so now at this stage I'm just trying to retrace my steps and see if I've missed anything, and I walked clean past a bio gem, but there's still 2 others that I'm looking for. And I took my bio gem. So now she has 16, and I need to go find 2 others. And this took a bit of scratching to find these last 2. Although I had, in one of my previous games, I'd actually found the last 2 gems, but I'd forgotten where I'd found them. And so I continue, trying all sorts of different things, pressing buttons, and just to see if anything else happens. And yeah, you can see I'm trying to look in the different niches again. Maybe I missed a gem there. But you know, it's all part of the game. This is unfortunately one of those trial and error type games where you just have to keep trying everything over and over and over until you find what you missed. So I'm back at the penthouse, and once again I'm playing with a different temperature just to see if it does anything. But I've got an ice block again. Now I know I've already got the gem from the aquarium, but anyway, I suppose it doesn't help. Doesn't hurt taking the ice block and seeing if I can use it maybe somewhere else. And the computer says syntax error, simply because it cannot, I've already passed that stage. And yeah, I'm trying anything, desperation, typing help. And I like the way it tells you there that if you do really need help, you can buy a hint book. Fortunately, we have the internet these days, and there were a couple of hints on the net and a couple of walkthroughs, but I still got stuck. So now I'm heading back up to the roof. And at this stage you can see I am hopelessly lost and confused, thinking that I've tried and done everything. So luckily I head back to the roof again. And I try the newspaper again, but unfortunately that doesn't hold anything. And I must be honest, I was pretty close to just stopping at this stage and saying, well, you know, that's the end of it. But I wanted to finish it. So I'm basically just trying different things at random now. And I'm heading back up to the roof again. Luckily, yeah, I remembered this stage. Mysterio, part of the comic. He pops out and I'm floating in the sky. And there it is, by floating around, and if I pull myself feel north, there's the 17th gem. And if I feel south, there's the 18th gem. So I was pretty chuffed at this stage that my perseverance had paid off. Now Mysterio, I haven't figured out if there's anything you can actually do with him. Doesn't look like it. In the comic, you basically just beat the living crap out of him, and he's arrested. But here I am, quickly running back to good old Madam Web, and I'm giving her the last 2 gems, and then I've finished the game. And basically gives you a password, Micah, so you can play the next. The Chief Examiner says, I think it should be coming up. There we are, 100 out of 100. Fantastic. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Even though it got a little bit frustrating, you know what? It's really a great text adventure. Well, cheers guys.